Alright, the next bit is the first shoulder, and we're going to need to do a little bit of math before we start. So here we go back to math. We need to calculate the number of rows for the shoulder. The architecture of the garment is like this. This is the back neck ribbing. This is the ribbing that's going to be on the front as we work the shoulders. This is where the sleeve starts. We need to calculate from this point, which is point B, to here, which is the edge of the neck. So here's the formula to calculate the shoulder rows. The shoulder width, mine happens to be 15.75, minus the neck opening. My neck opening is 8 inches. That gets divided by 2 because this is the full width from point B to point B. It's the full width across my shoulders. That's the full neck. So what we've ended up with is how much sweater there's going to be once we take the neck opening out, but I'm only calculating for one shoulder, so we divide it by 2 because I have 2 shoulders. You might have more shoulders, but I have 2. So we take that and we multiply that times the row per inch, and my row per inch is 7. And then we subtract from that the amount of rows we did for the neck edging, which for us is 6. In this particular sweater, it's 6. So I end up with, when I do all of that happy math, I end up with 27 rows. That's how many rows I need to knit before to get to point B. This is what our work looks like at this point. We have 6 stitches that are going to become the facing for the sweater. We have the neck edge, or the stitches coming off our ribbing. Our marker is 1 stitch from the end. We have markers on the 5th stitch from the end, 5th, 6th, 7th, skip 1. Now depending on your how much drop you want, you're going to have a different number of markers, and you're going to need to set those markers out in a way that pleases you. This works for me. It gives me a nice round deep neck, which is what I like. For you, you will have something different. If you get stuck and can't figure out how to set your markers, just email me and I'll help you. So here's the process. Our working yarn is coming off this stitch right now. Purl this stitch. Now this is the front side. We're looking at what we get on the front side, not what you actually do. So this is purl, because whether you're right or left-handed depends on how you approach this. This is purl. This edge stitch needs to be knit. The goal is to end up with a purl stitch at the neck edge, or at the sweater edge, and a knit stitch at the neck edge of the sweater. So ribbing this way, ribbing that way, lifted increase in this. Now this particular one is difficult to do because it's already got stuff going on, but you want to increase in the purl bump here. I'll show you as we knit the work. Knit this stitch, slip the marker. You want to do another lifted increase right here and knit this one, knit, and you're going to do a twin stitch turn in this stitch. So let's walk through it. I have my 2 rows of ribbing done, and I am ready to do the lifted increase on this stitch, and this is fairly tight, so you're going to lift it, set it on the needle, and work a lifted increase. Knit this next stitch, slip the marker. This is another lifted increase. So we lift the purl bump and knit it and work the next stitch. We're going to knit to the stitch with the marker. Alright, now this is one of those fussy things that if you want it to come out looking nice, you're going to have to do it. You need to slip the stitch so that the leading leg is in back. Reach back to that purl bump and lift it. Wrap your yarn around the needle from the back over the top. This is going to produce a nested short row turn stitch. The reason we're doing this particular stitch is because I've got two places where both of these stitches are knit. The first one is the saddle, the back saddle, and the second one is the back dart. If you use darts, that's totally up to you. So that we only do that particular row with the two lifted increases once. Knit back to the front. You're going to knit to the purl stitch. There we go. That's the purl. There's the purl stitch. We need to reach back and lift this purl bump. Now we will do this every row coming to the front. This is our neck edge increase. So reach back, lift that purl bump, and work it. I'm going to work the ribbing, and when I come back I'm going to show you what we're going to do for the next forever.